5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guys, it's an extended version of arms, so we're getting extra warm. 2 sets of squats. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
First day back at Jiu-Jitsu. So, for you that don't know, I train Jiu-Jitsu in my spare time, as many times as I can. And of course, with everything that's been going on, the gym's been shut down, but the gym has been doing Zoom calls, getting everyone involved. But it was at a time for me personally where I couldn't get on the call. It was at 5 p.m. and for me personally, I'm either doing my online sessions with my clients or it's normally family time, we're going out for a walk. So for me personally, getting on at that time was quite difficult. But in saying that, what I did pretty much every day, there might have been like a day or two where I didn't do it, but I would do study online. And what I have the luxury of is I have access to DVDs on BJJ Fanatics, which is great. And it's just got a library. I've bought the DVDs for years, and I'm a big fan of the John Danaher series, which just covers a lot of things. People that are in the Jiu-Jitsu world will understand this, that he's just amazing. But one of the things that one of my professors told me, a professor is a black belt, a person who is a black belt is an instructor, or you could call them coach, but in the Jiu-Jitsu world we call them professors. He told me that even though you learn a lot at the gym with your instructor, with your professor, you can just elevate your game so much more by actually watching online content. And that's not just watching matches where some of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners, you watch them go against the other best jiu-jitsu practitioner and they clash and they have their matches, but actually watching certain people that have DVDs out on specific things. And my professor Joel Heinen, this was probably 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, he said to me, which I just took on board, which was, he said, I go into the gym and I train here and I do the physical part, but then when I leave, I do so much study outside of the gym, and it's just elevated his game. And if anyone who's ever rolled with him, he's a complete nightmare to roll with. He's just so technical. He's not the biggest guy. I think he's about 170, but the guys that are big sometimes lack a bit of technique, and the total opposite with the smaller guys have the best technique because they don't have as much strength. So there's always that a balancing act. But for him to tell me that, he was kind enough, and at the time I was struggling with certain positions. I had a sub-only match, and I had opportunities to take the back, but I couldn't really see the route. And he gave me a DVD it was a Ryan Hall DVD with the back series, and I remember putting it in my PlayStation and turning it on, and it just was so detailed with everything, and it just showed just how much more you can actually learn just visually and taking things on, not actually learning stuff physically as well in the gym. And I'd advise that to anyone who takes jiu-jitsu or is interested in it, is try to study stuff online. I know it's a lot, but like if you want to get like maybe to the next level and really take this thing serious, doing the online study just helps so much. There might be times when you're at the gym and you might be, say example, working on a closed guard armbar, and you know your professor's all walking around, there's a big class and they're trying to walk around and just say, hey, your hips are too high or whatever. They'll give you a little detail, then they've got to quickly go to the next one, and you might not even get time to actually have someone come up and say something to you. That's when those DVDs are great. So I'm just a big proponent on that. It helps with your learning in general, and they're filmed really well as well. So thank you to Joel for that. And nearly every day I study jiu-jitsu, so that was a bit of a tangent. But anyway, just saying that was the way that I did my training without being in the gym because it was closed. You can always still do your jiu-jitsu training, but even if you're not doing it physically in the gym with your training partners, you can do it watching it visually. And I learned so much, and then you try to take that in and you work it out, and that's what going to training is. It's about practicing what you've either learned from training before or what you're watching online and then going in and trying it, and that's what it's all about. And then when it's time to do your competitions, then you can, you've practiced it, and if it works in training, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu, is that if you're in trouble, you simply tap. So that's great. But this is me just about to head up to the first class that I'm going to be going to. It's on a Saturday, so which is awesome for me, because I can actually get up there and train, and my wife can look after the girls, and it's just a lot easier for me, not for her, because she's looking after the girls. It's a bit of a struggle, but that's okay. And I cannot wait to get up to the gym. Obviously, with everything still going on, we're limited to not actually training with partners or anything. It's just all you get your square and you just do the drills. But hey, getting in the gym, putting the gi back on, and being around all my friends that I train with is going to be amazing, and I cannot wait. And yeah, basically we're getting close to getting back to grappling, but we're not there yet. But like I just said, it's going to be amazing getting in the gym, putting the gi back on, seeing everyone, and at least getting on the mat and doing some sort of jiu-jitsu. And something's better than nothing. Like I always say in a lot of my videos, it's better to do a little bit than go hard and then not be able to train the next day. So yeah, here's my jiu-jitsu journey from home up to the gym, and we're gonna go from there. Thanks, guys. So this is Alex Morono, owner and operator of Gracie Barra The Woodlands in Houston, Texas, current UFC fighter in the welterweight division. Alex, how good is it to be back training with everyone and having the gym open somewhat?
Man, it's awesome. So, the physical well-being and workout is so great, but I forgot how beneficial it is for the mental welfare and just being able to socialize and connect back with a lot of my friends. And before the gym was closed, we were thriving, And my wife and I were the owners. We were like, what can we do to make the gym better? What can we add? But then when we didn't have the gym, it put a lot of things in perspective, and we just wanted it back. So it really put really good perspective on like really cherishing what you have and making the most at every moment. And I'm just so happy to be back in the mix with my friends.
So another thing that Alex and Janice have been doing is doing live Zooms every day. Because people couldn't be at the gym, they've been doing live Zoom calls. What's the response been like with that, having live and just having classes for everyone?
Yeah, you know, on our best Zoom days, we would have up to 30 or 40 people. And then as soon as we started having some of like the no contact training in and started doing more line drills and a little bit more like drills together, the numbers did flop. And we still have a few guys on Zoom, but again, I think other than myself, everyone was so much happier and ready to come back and get in the actual mix.
Yeah, speaking personally, it's been great to be back in the gym today, doing all the jiu-jitsu, and it's good to be back. Thanks very much, Alex.
My man, thank you.
So that's a wrap. Jiu-jitsu, first time in the books since the COVID, and man, what a feeling it is to be back training. Even though it's social distancing and all that, it's good to be back on the mats, put the gi back on, and see all my friends, and it's like family in that gym, man. It's insane. So it's great to be back in there, and I really look forward to getting back. And once it gets back to grappling properly, man, it's going to be insane.